always asked, how did I start in property? I'm going to give you a few examples on the board now. Hopefully you can see the writing, and I'm going to show you where I was and how I started off. So the question I get is, when did you start property? And the hard thing for me is to advise when that was. So, and please tell me how you define that, because in 2009 I bought my own home. In 2012 I bought my first buy-to-let. Is that when you start investing? I don't know. In 2014 I bought my second buy-to-let. Does that mean that I'm in property because now I'm getting to the second one, so I must want to do this progression? Or 2016 I became full-time. Does that mean that I'm fully committed and I am now, this is when I started? So please tell me, if I asked you, when did you start in property, how would you define that answer? So let's crack on. I'll show you exactly the first deal what I did in 2012, because 2009 was my own home. So 2012 as an investment, which is a buy-to-let, I'll show you exactly what I did. So the first one what I did, I was living in an area called Bentley, which in the 50s was known as the biggest council estate in Europe. So it's got quite a bad reputation, but it's got better over time. As soon as they brought in the right to buy, a lot of people bought these homes. So I was living at number 10 Homestead Street. This is number 1. So literally paid for this in 2012, £50,000. I spent on it, I spent £13,500. Bearing in mind I was everything: windows, doors, plastering, plumbing, everything, bathroom. The only thing I didn't do was the roof. I did everything else, all the internal shell, back to brick. Okay, so £13,500, and I did a lot of that work myself. The only thing I didn't do was the gas, need certifying, the electrics, and the plastering. I haven't got the patience. I think I'd be sort of digging more than smoothing. I don't know if you can relate to that as well. So I did a lot of work myself. It's in 2012. And while we're here, I'll give you this bit of a funny story. In 2014, I was working hard, saving money, ready to get my next property that I thought I wanted to do. I went into the mortgage broker. They said to me, yeah, what you can do is come back in what's called a remortgage. You can go back to the banks, get a revaluation, and they'll give you the higher value if it's gone up at your loan to value, 75 or 80% or whatever you want to be. And if you've got excess money in this property, they'll give you that back. So this is where the funny thing comes in. Because I was still wet behind the ears, I didn't understand remortgages. To me, it sounded like fraud. If someone was going to give me the money back and give me the keys, it sounds too good to be true. But as we know now, that is a standard remortgage, and thinking back it makes me chuckle sometimes, because I was trying to blame the broker that it was into fraud and try and get me into that. But back to this, so 2012 paid £50,000, spent £13,500 on the renovation. I got it revalued in 2014 for £85,000. So you can see straight away there what I've done. So then I pulled the money back out. Okay, so I've pulled money back out, cash back in my pocket, and I've also got the keys. I've been saving money, so when I did this, I bought my next house, which was where I live now, which was down the road, literally about 3 streets away from my own home. It was the same setup, 3-bed, semi-detached house, same as the first one, but in the second one, it was a 3-bed, semi-detached house, but it's got a loft conversion already done. It's got a brand new bathroom already done, a brand new kitchen already done, and a brand new boiler. They're the main things that we look out for, right? The big cost, the big ticket items. So I spent on this one, well, basically I'll show you the purchase price first. I paid on this one £82,500. The renovation was 3.5k. It was literally probably some wooden floor, carpet and painting. There was not a lot else to do, so £3,500 more than enough. Sorry, the writing's getting smaller, but I'm all in for 86k. I've got this revalued at the end of last year. In 2019, I got this revalued, 2018, let me change that, for £110,000. Same again, whatever loan to value, I've pulled the money back out again, and that's back in my bank. That is how I started. Some people say buy-to-lets don't give you enough cash flow, but these are great for me. Each one, cash flow is about £300. One's 320, one's so £620 for 2 single lets. And I say to people, if you could do that in that amount of years, yes, it's not life-changing, but that'll certainly give you a little bit of a better life. If you think of most people earn £18,000 per annum, that's the basic around the Midlands anyway, I don't know about London, but that's like a good wage around here, that is about £1,500 a month. You get 2 of these, that's £600. Okay, so you can see already, you're getting this day in, day out, paid on a monthly basis. So always think, don't disregard single lets, they are good as well. I have done a lot of HMOs, I am now doing commercial, but you've got to start somewhere. Check your numbers, check the risk. If that's within your risk profile, go ahead and take the jump. Don't be on the fence, don't be, oh, I want to, I'm not sure how. Get around the people that are doing what you want to do. Ask them the questions, take them for coffee, buy them a lunch, pay for some training, whatever you need, get off that fence. So, thank you for watching. I thought I'd give you a quick guide on the 2 properties, how I started, and hopefully that'll help you